Hello, punters. Big weekend coming up for locked in listeners. DJC, Matthew Zemmett, and the Virgin, Gav Duncan. How are you, boys? DJC, start with you. Big weekend for locked in last week. A couple of winners all over the place for you guys.
Yeah, mate. We obviously Prowess West was very, very dominant. What a win! You had Cascadian, which you could see it was just trying to get room, and obviously it did late and absolutely just flew home, which was unreal. Pretty, pissed off I didn't go the Imperatriz the Friday night. I know I talked it up and ended up going within the Congo. That bit me on the bum. But other than that, mate, I had a cracker on Saturday. It was unreal.
One man that did have a cracker was Matthew Zemmett. Pretty popular name in the leg up members only at the moment, mate. 3 from 3 with the all-in tips last week, and hopefully get a few more this weekend. How are you?
Great, mate. Yeah, very good. It was a really good weekend. It was awesome to help the leg up members out a little there with some of those early plays, but you're only as good as your last week, mate. So we've got to back it up. I'll be a sitting duck otherwise. So yeah, we've worked hard to find a few more, and hopefully we can keep going.
Gav Duncan, Melbourne four medalist, a little bit of a fish out of water this weekend. Sydney for the championships, but we've thrown you in the deep end. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. Good. Nice to be here, boys. I've been sitting on the pine for a while. Got the splinters in the bum. So I've seen a couple of notables lob up here before I have. Been one of the OGs of the leg up, but it's all right. As long as my debut's a bit more like, I don't know, Joey Johns when he started his career. 23-odd points, couple of field goals, a try.
Yep.
Kicking goals with both feet. I don't want I don't want to be a Charlie Staines. 4 tries and then forgotten about. So.
There's been a few HIAs on the locked in bench, so the 18th man's got the call up this week.
Yeah, that's all right. This day and age, it's good to be that bloke. So
exactly. Obviously, no Pat, no Sam. I don't know what they're doing. Are they together this weekend or?
I wouldn't have a clue.
They are. They're down in Sydney. I think they're down for that charity golf thing, aren't they? With Hildo and stuff.
Must have been a new shipment of refrigerators coming or something.
Yeah. Paddy's counting his money. He's counting his money.
Yeah. Needs double take.
Yeah, well, that's it. We can pretty much run shit on them all night because neither of them are here to defend themselves. So I like that. Pat's usually the one that sort of dishes out a little bit of shit, especially towards you, I think, DJC. But no shiny bald head this week.
Pair of fucking losers.
the boiled egg stayed home.
Yeah, that's right. No, you watch. All 4 of us will get the flick next week, regardless. We could tip the card, but. It is the championship, so we've got 4 Group 1s to get through. The TJ Smith, the Size Produce, the Derby, and, of course, the Doncaster Mile.
Wow.
We may as well get stuck into it, boys. It's a lot to get through, and it's a pretty interesting card, I think. There's plenty of value, and we could have a few different tips, I think, across the meeting.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. We'll kick off with the Size Produce. It is race 6 at Randwick on the weekend. Cylinder, after running second in the Golden Slipper a couple of weeks ago, he's your $2.10 favourite with Boombet. V8 from the Kelvin and Tony McAvoy yard, $5.30. Don Corleone, $6.40. Gav, kick us off, mate. Are you sticking with Cylinder after being on him in the Slipper?
Look, he owes me a bit. I'll give you the hot tip. But yeah, look, I'm on top. I'll go with him. It's if a horse described a human. This one describes DJC in the name, Cylinder. He's an exciting colt. I think nothing that finished behind it will get in front of it in this.
That's what you get for having a crack at me.
He's worried about the buzzer. 45 seconds.
Finish behind it. Had this last 200 through the line, strong as, probably stronger than anything. So the 1400 won't be an issue. It'll settle in a 4 position on pace. James McDonald. He's had a bit of a break. He'll be keen and hungry, so Cylinder on top for me.
Beautiful. The first locked-in tip on he gets in under the 45 seconds, mate. That's a win in itself.
I can do plenty under that time.
Matthew?
Yeah, I'll back him up. I'm with you, Gav. 4 of the last 7 winners placed in the Slipper. Yankee Rose, Microphone Animo, Fireburn. 2 of the last 4 won by Godolphin. I thought the first 3 home in the Slipper, I know it sounds straightforward, but the first 3 home in the Slipper were clearly the best 3 runs in the race. There was nothing else really other than them that I thought was sort of back me next time in a size. And the only one of those 3 that turns up is Cylinder. I think you just need to get the alternative form beat of V8, which invariably that form isn't sufficient to win this race. It's the slipper form that stands out. I think it's fairly straightforward, fairly simple. I'm with Cylinder.
DJC, you're going to make it 3 from 3 for Cylinder in the size.
I am, boys. I am. I'm sticking with Cylinder. As you know, I had it on top in the slipper, and for a split second there, I thought we were going to run away and get the chocolates until that Shinzo spoiled the party with that, the great run up the inside. J-Max sticks. It's going to be rock hard fit. I'm a little worried about the horse Brave Mead. I know Gav's got a bit of an opinion on it. I think he's been super impressive with its last 2 starts, and I think that'll take up the running. But I think if Cylinder can sit in a similar position to last start and find open space in the straight and let down with a nice run, it's going to be very, very hard to beat. Cylinder on top.
Lovely. Pretty easy one to lock in this week in terms of putting a name on it.
Gav, give it to Gav.
No, we'll see. Look, I was going to give it to Gav, but there's been many a guest on here that have had to wait long and hard to get their first lock in. So I think Matt with the 3 winners from 4 tips last weekend, he's going to come in as the carryover champion and get it by default. So Matthew, we're locking you in.
Sounds good, mate. Sounds good.
Default lock-in. That sounds like a charity, whatever.
Yeah, pretty much. I think DJC's first locked in was a default lock-in too. So
I think because I made Sam laugh, he picked it or something.
Yeah, that's it. It's not hard. We move on. The TJ Smith Nature Strip trying to make it 4 in a row. You've got the Everest champion Giga Kick there.
We'll surely get some diversity in answers here, surely.
You'd like to think so. Giga Kick is your $4.05 favourite. In Secret, the Newmarket winner, $5.20. Nature Strip, $5.30. I wish I win $8.50. Gav, kick us off.
Mate, I reckon I'd probably be one of Nature Strip's biggest fans in the country. So I'm sticking with the old fella. Got him on top. He obviously wasn't up to his best first up, that run down the straight, but and we all expected him to be, but the camp's come out and sort of admitted that he wasn't right. He's trialled well since, jumped out well, run since. Randwick, 1,200 metres, he's going for 4 in a row. He seems to like the track more in April than he does in October. So here we are in April in a bit of a wet condition. The rain's come for him. And with the possibility of it being one of his last starts, I don't think Waller would be sending him around with any issues or anything to worry about. So I'm going Nature Strip on top, thanks to Eduardo not being there to piss him off either. So Barrier 7, he'll jump to the front, crows up past him, have nothing to piss him off, and catch me if you can. Bring it on, Giga Kick.
Lovely. Just in time too. Getting close there.
Good,
Getting close. Matt, you've already tipped Giga Kick as part of an all-in tip. You're sticking with the Everest champ.
Mate, he's here to retire the champ. He is here to retire the champ.
We're looking at rump steak down the
He's going for undisputed sprinting champion of the world, this horse. He's the Everest winner. He's back to do it in the autumn, and he's going to retire the champ. I'm sorry, mate. I'm sorry, Gav, to tell you. It will be all over after Saturday afternoon. He should be unbeaten, this horse. Champion sprint was just terrible luck through that whole race, and Williams did his best to find some sort of a clear passage, but really struggled, and I thought should have won the race. And the luck never changed then first up in the Challenge Stakes, where he copped some pretty terrible interference at the start. I think most people missed it. I mean, you guys would have seen me. I was blowing up the chat saying, what the hell's going on there at the start? Mate, I forgot.
Fair dinkum.
Without Sam here, I forgot for a minute.
Didn't forget how to talk, but did you?
Oh, no, I didn't. I deserved that one. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Without Sam here, I almost forgot there too. It was 44 seconds and I'm trying to find the buzzer.
I'll dribble Sam.
DJC. Yeah, exactly. That's it. I've got the message. We got close. I nearly had to buzz myself. But DJC, can you tip me over the edge here with one of them?
Yeah, look, what a cracking race he set up to be, full of superstars. My money will be on last year's Everest winner, Giga Kick. First up this spell, absolutely flew home for third behind Eduardo on passive aggressive. Goes from the 1,000 metres out to the 1,200, which I think is going to suit even more with that big sustained run. Unbeaten second arm, unbeaten at the track and distance. Pertin in the saddle, all things are pointing to a positive run in my opinion. I think it'll bide its time and then produce that big finish over the top of them. Giga Kick to storm home.
Lovely. That'll make it, I think, the last 2 Everest winners have then gone on and won the TJ the following autumn. So, interesting.
So who was prior to Nature Strip? Who was that? That's done that? That double? Oh, sorry, you're saying it'll make it the last two?
Yeah,
Okay, no, I'm with you.
Yeah, I'll
I'm
make
with
it the
you.
last
Okay.
two. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Gotcha.
If Giga Kick can do
Throwing
it.
a kerball at Nick there, mate. Come on, you meant
Yeah,
to
I
be
was going to
friends.
say.
Keep him
I
on
was
his
like, holy
toes.
shit.
What have you done to me?
It's like, what have I said? Backpedal. Gav, we're going to lock you in here.
Yeah,
I reckon
I
the
thought so.
champ can make it. Can
About
make
time.
it 4 in a row. He deserves it.
Who are you on in that?
Fair
Who do you like, Nick? Who do you like in that?
I've got multis with Giga Kick.
Yeah, right. So 3v1.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
the minnow. We like to see
So
the minnow.
have you just set me up here though? Because you're
Nature's
convinced
Strip champ.
Nature's
You
Strip
can't
can't
knock a
win,
champ,
so I
and
get myself
it's
locked
going to be
in
a
as a
cracking
loser.
race. It'd be an awesome race if Nature Strip kicks away. Then it's just Giga Kick come down the outside to make it that 2-horse finish. It's that'd be a cracking finish.
No one likes the filly?
It will. I'm just salty that BJ still hasn't got nude after the last win when
right.
he's
Yeah,
putted
right
it.
about
So
The only bloke
Yeah.
that can get nude and still not be nude.
yeah, exactly.
Dead set Jabberwocky.
You know what? You know she's a great filly. I've been with her since she was a 2-year-old,
Yeah.
but she's that slow beginning that she's picked
Yeah.
up. That'll hurt her around a bend.
Yeah, that's what I think, Matty. I think the bend and the slow kick against this field.
Yeah.
Down that straight, clearly she's proven she's dominant because she's able to, stay out of trouble, wind up, straight line speed, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Private
Very.
Eye, I think he's a chance as well.
Is there any market movement on Lost and Running at all in the race?
The mug
My
has
man.
texted in. He's texted in and he said his man at the tab. It's 34, 26, 15 Lost and Running.
What an insight.
So,
Need the scoop.
Love you, Mug. Shout out to the Mug.
Hot ice creams.
well, boys, we move on because my man at Boombet, he's telling me that Mr. Brightside is your $5.50 favourite here for the Doncaster. Race number 8, Alligator Blood, the People's Champ. He's $8.70, equal with Fangirl. Converge, a little bit of money around for him this afternoon. He's into
Huge last
$9.20
start.
and
Huge last
Zoo
start,
Gotcha.
isn't
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gav, kick us off. Can Converge win his second Randwick Mile?
Oh, not on my watch. No, he was big last start, but it's not who I've got on top. I flip a coin, I could have about 100 on top, I reckon, in a 20-horse field. But I've found Zugotcha, the 3-year-old filly. I think the profile sort of, with the down in the weight sort of stuff, 1600 metre run, which she's proven at before. Bit of a wet track there where she won the Flight Stakes against her own age, admittedly. But barrier 13, I don't think is a problem. I think she'll get herself into a 3-wide running line, a bit forward of the field. Plenty of tempo in there. She could peel out. My only real doubt was the fact that McAvoy was on board. I don't think he's doing too well at the moment, but it's not as bad as it looks, to be honest. I think she might be. Waller doesn't normally send his 3-year-olds from the far lap to this run, so he might be very good. But that's who I'm locking in. Zugotcha.
Oh, that had to be longer than 45 seconds. You think?
I think it was, but I saw you moving, and I'm like, oh, get this out.
I'm trying to find the app.
Yeah, I thought I had a bit of time there.
Yeah, we were pushing it. I think I was slow to press the timer at the start too, so it was probably about 49 before I pressed it. But Matt, who are you with in the Doncaster, mate?
So this is my value. It's Communist. I don't think I can't remember a horse with his profile coming into a Doncaster that's 20-1. It's I get that he's a bit unfashionable and he's sort of snuck up on everyone, but he ticks the boxes. The 3-year-old who's won a Randwick Guineas, the track and distance. He's then come out in the rider against Animo, beaten just over a length, and plummets in the weights down to 49. Tyler might ride him 49.5 or something like that, but he'll be close enough to it. He's got a terrible barrier, and that hasn't helped his market position, I'd say, but he'll get across somewhere and he'll be close enough to the speed to make use of that weight. And he'll make his way into the race, up the rise and down, and I've got a feeling he'll be somewhere in the finish.
This
Not there.
Poor Matty.
It's like the last.
If he hadn't stuffed up my one, he wouldn't have been watching so close.
I didn't bring my timer this time.
It's like
DJC's got a timer too, I think.
it's like because Sam's away. It's like we're at school and we've got the casual teacher. We're just
push the
trying
boundaries
out,
a little bit.
just trying our luck.
Yeah,
Fuck you, sir.
We're always allowed to do this, sir. We're always allowed to do this.
Look,
That's it. I've written everyone's name up on the board too. So
I had to look at this race about 20 times before I came up with a selection, I think. I'll be having a stab at Converge, boys, at close to double figure odds. last start was massive. Looked home at a stage during that straight before Animo and Fangirl got over the top of it. If this race was run at this distance, last start wins. In the group chat earlier, we had a little chat about, if it was back to its best, it'd definitely give this race a massive shake-up. And I think last start indicates that it's on the right track. Third up form is, superb. Very, very happy to have a play here at around, 9-10 to 1. Converge on top for me, boys.
Geez, I tell you what, for someone that was guaranteed to get locked in then with two people already buzzed out, you've pushed it close to just almost having to reset and start again completely there. But DJC, talk about default being locked in. That's as easy as it gets, isn't it? That's like a 3-horse race where 2 of them stand in the barriers.
That's right.
It's the Bradbury. Hey, no, Mr. Brightside. Wow, God, I could have easily had him.
Same.
And I do have a good ticket on him, as you guys know. But I'm surprised none of you lumped for it.
I was saying earlier too, I couldn't believe Gentleman Roy was sitting there at $61, 52 kilos after being hard in the market against those sort of horses, 2 starts ago.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's 100% fit. Hey, that horse.
I think you might be right. Yeah, but still silly price.
He got Fangirl as well, who almost went to the line with Animo last start.
I reckon as soon as I heard Joe was on Fangirl, I just penned it.
Yeah, and is it drawn like barrier 19 or something?
Drawn the car park, but
Yeah.
Few of them are all in that same boat, though.
Yeah.
You've got Lindemann, Communist, Fangirl, they've all drawn bad.
Yeah.
But as you said, Gab, you could look at this race a few times and have something else on top. It's just one of those races, isn't it, where it's, if anyone could win and you could look at it and go, oh, yeah, you can make a case for it. So
yeah, wouldn't shock you. Hoping your heart could win the bloody thing.
She could. She loves that mile. So we are locking in DJC there for Converge. We'll give him that one. You're on the board.
What a week locked in.
I know we're 3 Group 1s in and we've got 1 each. So this really is the deciding one. But before we do get to the Derby, I'm going to put you all on the spot a little bit. And you've got your 45 seconds, and we're going to bring back the boom bet question of the week. Ooh. So the Melbourne Autumn's finished, the Festival of Racing as they call it. I want your most memorable or your favourite Group 1 winner from the Festival of Racing that's been in Victoria this autumn. Gav,
geez,
bit of pressure because we're kicking off hot. You're on.
I can't even bloody think.
Jeez, you question without notice.
Yeah.
Nick.
Yeah. I thought I'd just
Nick,
try and...
All right, here's bounce this one back at you so we can have a time to think, because you know the question. How about you drop your one and we'll have a quick think about it.
Yeah, well, I wish I had one. No, look, I thought the way Cascadian won that Australian Cup last weekend on the quick backup, although that was pretty impressive. But Mr. Brightside for me, boys, I thought the All-Star Mile win, that was probably my best collect over the autumn. So, look, I was pretty happy with the way he went about his business in that All-Star Mile. The form always sort of stacks up, I should say. Cascadian's come out of it. A few other nice runs in behind. So, yeah, Mr. Brightside for the Ben and JD Hayes boys, especially I think after we had those boys on the podcast a couple of weeks, or that week it was. So, yeah.
I think In Secret win was huge. Hard to ignore. I like the win of Uncommon James. That was a big win. I think the Group 1 that I'm not going to fucking forget, though, is the Australian Guineas.
Yeah. I didn't want to bring that up.
Yeah, if it's the most memorable moment, it has to be the Australian Guineas with attrition. With talking through my kick here with the 100-to-1 ticket, and I was up at Cairns for a Bucks weekend at the time, and I was shouting Gilligan's down like you wouldn't believe. And I was so fixated on where attrition was, I didn't even see Levante come out of the pack.
Yeah.
And as soon as I'd almost spent the money, and then all of a sudden I get pipped, and I just about cried. But luckily I was surrounded by 38 beers because they got consumed very quick. So that'd probably be my most memorable moment. It's not for a positive, but it is what it is.
That's it. Matty, Imperatriz would have to be high up on that list.
Probably is, yeah. I mean, I just think as a representation of the Kiwis, doing so well at the moment, and that sort of being one of the highlights and a great result. It was bittersweet though, mate, with the price we were on at for the Canterbury Stakes. But her getting that job done there was probably the one that stands out most to me.
DJC, no doubt you've backed 15 Group 1 winners in Melbourne so far this autumn. I don't know, where are you on the leaderboard? You're about 4th or 5th, I think. There's a bit of a bunch.
3rd, I think, aren't I? I think I'm 3rd.
That's why it was so hard for me to think of a winner, because I've got more placings.
Yeah, I was going to say you've got 15 placings.
Yeah. I don't do
like
winners.
it wasn't. He obviously won, and it wasn't like a spectacular ride or anything. But I think the win from Uncommon James, being a horse that I've followed from, a trial before it even had its first start, following it all the way through, and obviously getting to that grand final, and for it to win in the fashion, I think that was, just one of those rides that you wish you could be a part of as an owner and a trainer to. I think it was a space of maybe 12 months, I guess, or that it went from, first starter to a Group 1. But I agree with In Secret too for Dean Holland. Mate, before that race, when they said that Dean Holland had come on, I thought they'd got some bloke from the canteen who weighed light to fucking have a ride. I said, "Who's this bloke?" And
did you say it like that too?
for him, yeah. Well, I think before the start, I said, "You're kidding." I think this bloke sold me a kebab last week. But then he pulled my pants down. I think a lot of the punters would have been off that horse, with the jockey change and stuff like that. But rode it spectacular. But yeah, I reckon Uncommon James for me.
It wasn't much of a carnival, hey, the Autumn Carnival in Melbourne there.
No.
There weren't many winners. Even the Blue Diamond, Little Bros. It's like there's
Yeah.
not a lot
Messy
got excited
contests. Yeah, a lot of messy contests. And
Yeah. I think probably a few of the fools might have put a bit of a dampener on a few things as well over the carnival. But funny story about Uncommon James. We've got a mare that when I think she was, from memory, she was meant to go around in a maiden at the Sunshine Coast on a Friday night, and Uncommon James was lining up in his first ever start in the same race. We scratched, and then they scratched as well, and went to the Gold Coast, I think, on the Saturday, and got beaten Uncommon James. But we sort of said, "Oh, geez, I'm glad it wasn't there." But they've gone different ways. We just won at Ballina and Group 1, so
it's all gone downhill.
Yeah.
That's right. So not to worry, but
Didn't try and switch them onto the float or anything like that.
no, it would have been nice, wouldn't it? Hindsight, mate, hindsight. We do have one more Group 1 to get through, though. It's the one I'm most excited for, and my pocket. You're going to have to do a bloody good job to talk me out of Sharp and Smart here. So here's the $3.50 favourite with Boombet. For the ATC Derby, Pericles $3.85, and then it's out to Mark Twain $7.80. Double figures the rest. Gav, who are you with in the big one?
Mate, I'm not talking out of this one. Being a Kiwi myself, mate, it's bloody good watching these Kiwis do their thing. It's a little bit like watching the All Blacks play the Wallabies, actually. They look competitive for a minute, but then the class prevails and they come away with the win. So, Sharp and Smart for me, mate. She, bloody hell. He's come over from New Zealand after winning the Group 1 Derby over there. He's won 2 Group 1s this prep already, 3 starts. He's been here before. The Vic Derby last start, he finished in front of Pericles, even though Pericles got a different setup going into this one. Probably a bit handier for it, but it's drawn the car park. It's got the visitors draw, but if you have a look at this New Zealand Derby win, it was sort of sitting 3 wide midfield, made a nice long sustained run. They came up to him, looked like they might have been running on, but he was never really going to lose that. So Sharp and Smart will lock that in, please.
Lovely. Matty, another one of the all-in players was Sharp and Smart, so you're sticking solid there?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you and Gav there all the way. Pericles won't stay. He will not run 2,400. And there are a few people trying to tell me that a New Zealand Derby winner and Victoria Derby runner-up doesn't stay 2,400 metres. What a load of garbage. This horse will prove once and for all that he absolutely stays every bit of 2,400, at least in his own age group he certainly does, and that he's one of the best 3-year-olds in the country, in Australasia, obviously, including New Zealand. And I think he'll be on his way to being at the top of many people's Cox Plate markets after Saturday. Love the horse. He's never let me down, and he's not going to let his punters and followers down on Saturday.
I love it, mate. DJC, you're looking there like you want to make it 3 from 3, but you also want to go against us and just throw a little bit of a spanner into the works.
Yeah, I do. Now, look, obviously I think Sharp and Smart is the obvious option here, proven at the distance, great form, just like the other Kiwi horses. But I think if I pick this, it's not really going to help me get in front of the Group 1 leaderboard for the leg up boys. So, because I assume the rest of the boys, I know Wok and a few of the other boys are going to be all over it. So I'm actually going to go for a bit of a roughie here, boys. Stroke of Luck at 16-1. If you watched it last start, it was an absolute horror watch. Was buried on the fence and pretty much spent the whole straight in reverse. Seen a bit of space late and finished off into 6th.
That whole race was in reverse, mate.
Yeah. They must have a bit. They look to have plenty to give, in my opinion. All we need is a stroke of luck here, boys, to get clear running. And it will be finishing off strongly.
You buzz him
It
early
can't-
just so he didn't get the lock.
Pretty much. Nah, he did. I think we've already gone over it, but we've had an email from DJC before, like putting in a bit of a complaint saying that, hey, I didn't get my full 45 seconds out. I can assure you there was 45 seconds of just utter nonsense. Then the horse can't line up because he still hasn't got out.
Mate, I think it's I think
Aptly
it's a good
named, isn't
chance.
it? Aptly named.
Yeah, stroke of luck.
Yep.
Well, the horse that won that race, that Tapple Doodle Do, whatever the thing's called, that's bloody almost 2.5 times the price of Stroke of Luck in this. So I think it's I really think Stroke of Luck's, if it can get clear running late, I think it's going to be with a big finish. Aussie Tom on board too.
I wish you all the luck in the world.
All I need is a stroke of luck, boys.
Hey,
I'm going to give this one to Gav, being the Kiwi. He can
thanks,
have
mate.
it.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Mate, shut up, DJ. Don't be
What a load of shit. The first one, we've got to make him wait a while. Fucking two races later.
Well,
It's because I started with naming a horse after you in Cylinder. That's how.
yeah.
And I'll tell you what.
Pretty
Speaking of that theme, if there was a horse named after BJ, it'd be Sharp and Smart, wouldn't it?
It would have to be. Yep.
If you ask him.
Oh, well, we meet in the middle on a few. That's good.
Yeah,
It is.
In
It's
a day,
bit
they could have had 15 different opinions.
Yeah, that's it. It's pretty easy to, I think, have 15 different horses and butt heads, but that's good. So I'll go over them because I've got to try and remember them myself. But the size, we've locked in Cylinder.
Yeah.
Yep.
Unanimously.
You got that one. Yep. Nature Strip, the champ to go 4 in a row. Gav, you having that one.
Thank you.
Talk about default DJC. You get Converge in the Doncaster because these two don't know what a timer is. And round it out, boys, with Sharp and Smart. It was the obvious. I'm almost going to give myself the Sharp and Smart locked in because that was a given. You could have tipped 3 different horses and I still would have locked in Sharp and Smart. Yeah. Boys, it's been a pleasure.
Likewise.
Good fun.
Been good fun. So I think it's gone smoothly without Sam and Pat. There's been very little references to Sydney-wide discounts, which I think everyone will be happy with. Had to squeeze it in there for the bingo players at home.
Just so you get paid this week, eh?
Yep, exactly.
At Rydalmere.
At Rydalmere, yep, that's right. We've had Boom Bet, we've had Sydney-wide discounts. We've ticked the 2 major sponsors, so that's good. Better Beer's got a plug. No Maitland margaritas this week, but
No,
that's all right.
Better Beer. If anyone knows the uninspired, unemployed boys, reach out to me because I'd love a free carton of piss.
There's some things in life people don't need, and that's probably one of yours, DJ.
And on that note, we'll leave it at that. Thanks, boys.
Yeah, boys.
Cheers, gents.